What up, Dynasty players in the house? It's the Dynasty front office, and I am your host, Jesse Schneeman, extra yelling there. And I am here with the wolf pack of four. All my co-hosts are with me. Professor Major Mike Casper. How you doing tonight, Mike? Welcome back.
What's up, Jesse? Wolfpack?
Yes, we're the wolf
Was
pack.
it NC State or something like that?
No, we're the wolf pack of four. Have you never seen Hangover?
Oh, that's long. Yeah. No, I'm good, Jesse. Good to be here.
Right on. And my main man, Chad Mendoza. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Happy to be here.
Liar.
Well, it didn't sound like he was great. Yeah, I mean.
But we appreciate you struggling through your illness to be here.
Yeah, well, your appreciation is appreciated.
Now get it together.
And the auspicious Austin Bell. How are you tonight, Austin?
I'm lovely, man. Another lovely week of me looking and realizing I am bad at fantasy drafts. So we get to go through, and luckily I don't have to do much of the talking on my team. So I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Nobody else did.
Nobody cares.
It's not our job. Ask yourself.
Absolutely not your job. You're right. All right. So we had the I got some comments on the veal parm sandwich from last week. I've had a couple other bad food experiences. I'm not going to go through them, but I think I'm just going to be cooking my own food for myself for a while. Just going out to restaurants is not working out for me.
That shit's so much work.
Save yourself some money.
Yeah, it's work, but it just comes out the way I want it. So
that's what she said.
That is it.
Let's talk trades.
Let's
do it.
All right, Mike. What was the trade with Justin Jefferson that Nath wanted us to bring up?
So I've got a couple shares of JJ, and I've been trying to tier down, get some more assets in some leagues. And so the trade was Justin Jefferson on one side, and the other side was Marvin Harrison Jr., Kenneth Walker, and a 2026 first.
Is it his first?
His first.
Is he any good?
I'm going to say yes without looking at it, so he doesn't get pissed at me for saying he's.
Well, I'll say no then. It's mad. So I'll say no.
Oh my God!
Well, you guys talk about that. There's too
I
many
mean,
people to go with it, man.
Instantly, it's too much. But moving off of JJ takes that kind of trade, or buying JJ, however you want to look at it. But off the top of my head, if somebody wanted me to pay that for him, I'll probably just keep my what I hope to be elite receiver asset. And it feels like an underappreciated running back currently, and just run with my 2-for-1 and keep my own pick.
For reference, he's pretty set at wide receiver, to be honest. He's got neighbors, so he's got neighbors with Harrison. He did draft Travion Henderson, but he's kind of screwed at quarterback because all he's got is Richardson and Stafford at the moment.
Oh yeah, so we're looking at best mid first, realistically.
Yeah, unless he's able to move off of Richardson, or Richardson just is somehow accurate now.
Yeah,
bust off a few 50-yard runs.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's break it down as far as what's Marvin Harrison's value right now. It's more than a first, right?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're talking about like the 101, I think any other first isn't going to be enough to acquire him. Like single first isn't going to be enough to acquire him.
105 and a 26 first.
Yeah, that's kind of where I would, give me the chance to get Tet in a first.
Yeah,
kind of thing. I don't love the idea to pay that, but I think that's his cost.
Ken Walker's a late first, probably, right?
Wherever people are viewing Harvey at is kind of where I would say Harvey and Johnson. So yeah, that 8 to 10 range right now.
So is it like Harrison in the first then for JJ?
So and then it's 4 first.
That's kind of where I would think is Harrison in a first or Harrison and Walker.
I mean, it seems fair to me.
All three are just Harrison in first or Harrison and Walker.
I want all. If I'm selling JJ, I want all three of those things. I'm not selling it for Harrison and Walker or Harrison and a first. It's not enough insulation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not enough insulation for. I mean, there is a chance. We all like Marvin Harrison and think he is going to break out, but it hasn't happened. You need insulation against it not happening.
Yeah.
I showed Mike last year. I actually made almost this exact same trade, but it was a little bit less. It was I sold Justin Jefferson for Marvin Harrison, a first and a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, especially last year with Harrison's, pop and value. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
For more JJ kind of trades. So I was talking to another JJ with someone else, and he was trying to do Nico Collins with it. It was Nico in a first for JJ in 2 seconds, and I was like, "Well, get those seconds out of there." Like,
yeah,
I feel like it
Nico
should be at least
in a first.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that.
That's fair.
I think people are pretty like.
But I still wouldn't do it. By the way, better be a damn good first.
Okay.
I think people are pretty divided on Marvin Harrison at the moment. I know some people have him as even up to the 7th wide receiver. Some people have him all the way down to 12, 13. So I think it just depends on who you're talking to. Where JJ, I mean, I think everybody has him either 1 or 2, right?
1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to Memphis, he thinks he's a bust.
Yeah, he does. With Jesse, you said it would take that to get off of Jefferson, the first trade.
Yeah.
Would you pay that for Jefferson?
No.
Okay, I agree with that. That's kind of where I was at. That's too much.
I'm not into those kind of trades though. I don't do those often, where I pay a shitload for one person. I just would rather have the bullets and hope that I hit on somebody elite with some other asset.
What if they put in James Conner, let's say, a vet running back with Jefferson? Is that enough? So it's a 2 for 2. Completely different age range for the running backs. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. If I need a running back, I'm probably not trading Ken Walker away. So, can you give me a young receiver with some upside that's worth somewhere around a second?
Okay.
I don't know. Who is that? Khalil Shakir probably doesn't have upside, but Rome's probably too much.
Oh yeah, Rome's way too
somewhere
much
in the middle. I don't know. Josh Downs.
I think that's too much as well, personally. That's why I said Connor. To me, you don't get a young piece back with that.
Pacheco.
Okay.
A young piece that everyone thinks is going to expire soon.
By the end of the year or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Ladd? Ladd plus gets you Justin Jefferson?
2 more elite assets. I have him valued below Marvin Harrison. So,
Chad, speak on this. You're the
I'd offered 2 firsts, and the guy was like, "I don't know if I'd even give you 1 first." So
for what?
JJ.
He's saying Ladd and 2 firsts is what he offered.
Oh, I see.
Chad.
Yeah, I mean it's Ladd is really expensive this offseason.
Yes.
He's really, really expensive this offseason. I still have Marvin Harrison ahead of Ladd. But I think really when you're in that range, it's personal preference, in my opinion. I think you're gonna find it's hard to tier up or tier down in that. I would say probably wide receiver 6, 7 to 13, 14 range. I think it's really movement is going to be pretty tough unless you find the exact right person that views things the way you view them. So yeah.
Just for this team, for reference, it was a rebuild from the start. I just took a bunch of young guys and picks, but now it looks kind of good. I just don't have a tight end really because I've got Jay Daniels, Drake May, Bucky, Hampton, and then Tracy at running back. But then I've got Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua, Waddle, and Adunze.
How did this turn into a list of Mike's team?
I'm just trying to give context to our listeners.
No.
Okay, why? Because as a front office, I'm trying to tell them why I would want to tear down right now. To build
Okay,
my
I
team
tuned
in
out
other
after
areas.
I tuned out after the second player.
Gosh, you shit,
Hey man, I'm just telling you what the people want. All right. Are we done with this?
Yeah, I guess we don't know what JJ's worth. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. He's worth a shit ton. Good luck trying to get him. I just feel like anybody in that range, just good luck. And it has to be an overpay to get the guy to move off of him. Because why there's no reason for anybody to be like scared of Justin Jefferson.
Except he's got a new quarterback.
Who cares? He's been through 4 new quarterbacks or whatever. He doesn't care. He made Josh Dobbs look good.
That's right.
Oops.
All right, so
one thing real quick. I actually forgot. I recently did acquire Justin Jefferson in a league, and I think I ran this trade by you guys when I was making it. But it was I got Justin Jefferson. I bought Justin Jefferson for Drake May, Khalil Shakir, and a 25 first. So yeah, it was expensive.
Do you remember what the pick was, or was it involved with the pick, or?
It was a. Let me get back to it really quickly here.
Because
25 first. I think it was like a later, like 108 or something like that, 109.
Okay, that sounds about right. I mean, with May's pop this offseason, it probably feels a little expensive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at that time, it honestly feels about dead on.
I mean, it's kind of what you got to pay to get him. So.
Yep.
If I'm selling Justin Jefferson, it's nice. I do kind of want a quarterback, in the mix.
Yeah.
I've done it once, and I've sold him once in my life, and I definitely got a quarterback. I got JJ McCarthy plus other things.
It was definitely one of those trades where, and I always like these trades personally, where you leave them and you're like, okay, I like, if I put myself in the shoes of the other person, I would take that trade too. So I would take it on both sides, which I enjoy those kind of trades that just from the standpoint of probably doing business again in the future and all that kind of stuff. So
speaking of, Chad and I made a trade, Garrett Wilson or Rome in a second, 26 second.
Garrett Wilson.
Mike Wilson.
Right on. I mean,
it's a fine trade. When I saw it, it was fine. Like, it wasn't no surprise there, but I think Wilson's being undervalued currently. He's back with his college quarterback. We know what we've seen out of Fields so far, but
I think Rome's being undervalued as well, but that's all right.
I think so too.
Yeah, see, I've seen that a lot on Twitter, and then I go through the keep trade cut receivers with them, and they all say, "Oh, maybe he's not." So like, he's at like wide receiver 19 on there. Would you rather have him or T. Higgins?
Rome.
Okay.
Way higher upside.
Hold on. Let me pause real quick because I had him up, and I think
Did
the next name. Yeah. Tet is the next name. Rome or Tet?
Rome.
Why?
That one's close. I'd probably take Tet, just because he's the guaranteed kind of number one there currently.
Yeah, I liked Rome as a prospect better than Tet.
I did too. I liked Rome as a prospect better too.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice.
Rome.
I don't agree with that.
I took Rome right ahead of Rashee Rice. Actually.
I'm the low man on Rashee Rice. I see him as a wide receiver too.
Devonta Smith.
Rome.
AJ
All these
Brown.
guys. Rome.
AJ Brown.
Really?
Yeah. AJ Brown.
Okay.
And then Travis Hunter.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Travis Hunter.
I
think Travis Hunter's being undervalued too, though.
So y'all have him about wide receiver 15. That's what you're saying.
I'm comfortable with that.
The next name, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Ladd. Y'all would take all those ahead of
for sure.
Rome.
Yeah. I would take Garrett Wilson ahead of Rome, And
I would too. That's why I got something on top of Rome.
Okay.
But I'm comfortable with I think there's a really good chance that Rome could be as good or better than Garrett Wilson.
I think Rome is one of better wide receiver prospects of the last 5 years. So
One of my
I still really believe in him in that offense. The only reason I was even trading him is because I had Luther Burden and Loveland on the team. So
Yeah.
I'm not going into the season with 3 guys from one offense.
It took
all valued, above a second.
By the way, it took Chad telling me that for me to even entertain the trade. My first reaction was why? Why do you want to trade with me? I just thought something was up.
That's Jesse's reaction every time I try to trade with him now. He's like, what are you doing?
That's what I get. That's what I get all the time now too. So.
Well, you got me with that freaking Jahan Dotson trade. I'm still.
I guess I'm the question mark on Rome then, because I don't see a higher upside this season than most of the guys I mentioned.
This season, probably not, but in a season or two, I see him easily as their number 1 wide receiver if everything works out right.
I mean, that's a lot to bank on compared to
I hear
guys
you.
that can give you legit low-end wide receiver 1 seasons this year.
I hear you, but I see it this way: of all of the guys in the top 15, he's the only one at an acquirable price that I think has the potential to be top 5. So, like, all of the young top wide receivers are out of this world price wise. Like, good luck getting Neighbors. Even Marvin Harrison, we just talked about his 2 firsts. Good luck getting Lad McConkey, we just talked about. All these guys are really expensive, but Rome is not so much.
Him and T. Higgins are close to me, but when you're mentioning guys like Devonta Smith, I feel pretty comfortable with knowing where Devonta Smith is going to end up. Like, the volume's just not in that offense. We know what it is right now. Right. He's going to be somewhere between wide receiver 20 and wide receiver 30.
I mean, he's been better than that 2 of the 3 seasons since AJ Brown's been there. So I don't agree with that either. He was a low-end wide receiver 1 season, and I think 15 or 18.
Yeah,
he was 29, 9, 19, 27.
So I was 2 out of 3 is what I said.
Yeah, that 27 was with 4 games missed.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver
19
2.
and 29. Those are like low-end wide receiver 2 numbers.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying is I'm comfortable with him being in that range. He's going to be somewhere.
But we're praying for that with Rome, especially these next 2 seasons.
Oh, I'm not praying for that. No, I don't agree.
Okay.
For me, it's just a matter of the ceiling. Rome has top 5 ceiling to me. Most of the other guys don't. Rice, Devontae Smith, as their offenses are currently constructed, or what I see happening in the future, AJ Brown's not going anywhere. Rashee Rice doesn't really have the ability to be more than a high end wide receiver 2.
Wasn't he wide receiver 1 overall before he got hurt?
For what, 4 weeks?
I mean, okay, but let's say it downticked a little bit. But I mean,
a lot of it.
Why? I mean, how would it though?
Because it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. I mean, it was all short stuff, low ADOT, run after catch. That's easy to shut down. If that's what you're running as an offense. So, that's why to me, Rashee Rice is. It
was 3 games that he played.
3.
Yeah, it was 3 games, and he finished wide receiver 20, 15, and 7. So he was off to a really good start. But I mean, those aren't like dominant. I can carry this through the rest of the year kind of numbers. It's a really small 3-week sample size. We don't know where that was going to go. I think the high end on Rashee Rice is there. I think just because of the way that offense is constructed and the options with Kelsey aging, and I don't think very highly of Worthy personally. So I do think the high end is there with Rashee Rice. But yeah, I mean, it's still big question marks for me on him too.
And then Higgins, we know, is just a dead ass wide receiver 2.
Okay.
That's the only. I mean, that's the difference to me. And I think you don't see Rome, I guess, as having that potential or easily reachable potential. to be a top 5 guy.
Especially not this year. Personally, they just spent their first and second round draft picks on weapons with the
I'm
whole
not
new staff. I mean,
necessarily.
that just tells me that there's more likely a dip this next 12 months than a value gain. So why would I pay this price point now when come January there's a good chance he's less expensive?
I don't know. See, I don't buy that either. I don't think he's going to have this terrible season. He'll 1,000 yards and 6 to 8
Oh
touchdowns.
hell
is
no!
very,
I don't.
very
Not a
possible.
chance.
I still think he's the second most talented player.
What? Because he's got two
in the offense. So that's where I'm going. I think DJ Moore is the most talented player on the team, in my opinion. And then after that, I think it's Rome, and I don't think it's really that close personally.
I mean, Luther Burden doesn't scare me, and the tight end is a tight end, a rookie tight end. He's not going to command targets. I think Rome will at some point develop into the wide receiver 1 on this team. It might not be this year, but he'll get plenty of volume. I think he'll just get plenty of volume. Ben Johnson is not going to just not use one of his best weapons.
I think the range of outcomes in that for these guys that we're mentioning, they're all like, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 range outcome. I mean, they can land anywhere in that spectrum, right? With Rome, I'm just banking on the talent. Like I said, I think he's a really, really talented player.
Same.
Okay.
And the Ben Johnson bump. Even though they did add weapons, cream always rises to the top.
Okay. I would have Tet above him as a prospect, so that would make sense why y'all are considerably higher.
I understand that.
Than I am.
I mean, I understand why.
I do have Ted above him.
No, as a prospect, you said you had Rome.
As a prospect, yeah, I have Rome higher as a prospect.
Yeah, I know you were extremely high on Rome, so it makes sense.
A prospect. See, I understand why you would have Tet ranked higher than him right now.
Yeah, which I do as well.
Yeah, I do right now too. Yeah.
Yeah, I still would probably take the chance on Rome.
Cool. All right. Sorry, I just wanted to.
That's cool.
I've seen a lot of that on Twitter, so I feel like it was a relevant discussion.
Yeah, I'm glad
I see so much people, first name that comes up, and who's your buy this offseason? And it's almost every comment section, Rome's listed multiple times.
Yeah, he's a great buy.
So.
All right. I sent an offer today. The guy liked it. He's thinking it over. He said it was fascinating. I offered 101 and 310 for 102 and Penix.
I mean, that's easy for me.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, that's so easy for me.
Yeah.
It's not that fascinating.
Like, you could still make it 105 in Penix, and I'll still take that.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's
for me,
super
it's
easy for me.
I want the double quarter. I really need quarterbacks on that team. So just the opportunity to be able to get 2 quarterbacks, I'll be very happy about.
Even if you went running back, right? Like, even if you didn't, like, let's say you didn't need the quarterbacks, right? And you went, I'd much rather have Hampton and Penix than Genty.
The Genty, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Much rather?
Me too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I said 5, because, like, okay, give me Henderson and Penix.
Well, and
Yeah,
Or give me Judkins and Penix.
and
And I'll
310.
take that. Okay, who cares? Yeah. To me, that needs to be 201
201.
to somewhat even that out. 101 and 201 for
Ouch.
Penix and 102.
Yikes. That's pricey. I wouldn't pay that.
Hopefully he doesn't listen and he accepts it, Jesse.
I might do 209. What's that?
So
What'd you say?
hopefully he doesn't listen and he accepts it.
Yeah, no. He's not. He's definitely.
Come on, man. You got to give us some chance. He might be. He might be one of the listeners.
One of our listeners definitely in that league. All right, let's talk about this startup, guys. Mike and Chad, we kind of missed you guys last week, and we didn't get any of your thoughts on where you were drafting. Chad, yours is very interesting because you were number 1, and then Mike, you were 3, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were kind of battling out for some players. Chad, obviously you didn't have any issues with Josh Allen, number 1 overall. Did you consider anyone else?
No.
Okay. No Lamar, huh?
No, Lamar would have been 2 for me, but But no, Josh Allen, I think for me it was just clear.
All right, Daniels went to Mike. Were you psyched when Lamar fell to you?
I figured I was getting Lamar or Daniels, so and I
You're
was
just-
okay. I was okay with either.
Just good with
Who
either.
did you want?
On Lamar,
Okay.
just, I've had Lamar everywhere. He's lots of Lamar.
All right, then
Are
in the-
you
Oh, go
worried
ahead.
the shelf life's gotten shorter on Lamar? Or are you just going to ride him until it does?
When has Mike ever been worried about a shelf life?
I mean,
No,
that's
I'm not.
fair, but
Sure.
I just,
but in a
like,
startup, it is something you need to think about with the 103.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you look at the elite quarterbacks that go behind him, like they're not exactly young bucks either. Like Burrow's 28. I guess Hurts is only 26, but Hurts is the one that kind of scares me a lot, just passing wise and things like that. I feel like Lamar runs everything, whereas it's Hurts and Saquon.
Let's.
I mean,
let's
there is
ask-
Henry too, but
Here's a question. Here's a question, kind of counterpoint to that, or maybe just an additional question, not even a counterpoint. But how scared are we of Jaden Daniels being C.J. Stroud this year?
Oh, I've tried all offseason to sell Jaden Daniels, and I can't get that 102 price point. I've tried, and it's not that.
I'm just not scared of him being CJ Stroud because he's got legs. Like he runs, and Stroud didn't really run.
Right. Yeah, he's got
So
much better
That's the
rushing floor.
rushing insulation that doesn't worry me as much. Like, sure, he might have a worse passing season, but I do like that Devo's there to be something at least.
Yeah.
Right? But
Probably not. I think Tebow's pretty washed.
Oh,
Y'all know
I think
y'all
he's
know
gonna
Mahomes.
surprise people.
You know Mahomes is gonna be 30 when the season starts.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
crazy.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, man, I can't believe he's 30 already.
That's because
Yeah.
we've been playing Dynasty since he started, Mike.
Yeah,
and that's why
true.
it feels like
actually, yeah.
yeah, that was his rookie year. Is the year we started.
Is this year 8 or 9 for him?
8. I think. Well, he's
8.
well. I think he's got 8 years, so I think he's going on his 9th year.
Yeah, I think this is year 9, because I think this is me and Mike's year 9.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like
Time
he's
flies.
only like 25 or 6 still.
Well, he was a little older coming out too, wasn't he?
No,
No,
He was 22, I think.
was
Yeah.
he?
No, this is
Okay.
year 9. I mean,
that
then
is year 9. Yeah,
he was 21 then, right?
he's 21.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
He just didn't play his whole rookie season until the last game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
For the
he's sat
season.
for a year.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He beat this snot out of the Broncos as a rookie.
So,
All right,
Mike,
Mike.
how thrilled were you that Justin Herbert fell to you at 210? Was
I
it
was-
just a
I was
smash?
ecstatic.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
no other
figured
question
so.
there, right?
I'm not gonna lie. Like my first 3 picks, I was pretty happy in this draft of Lamar, Herbert, and Harrison. I don't have any Harrison, and I got very few. Actually, this might be my only share of Herbert. But yeah, so I was like, man, there's a lot of wide receivers in this tier. Like, if Brian Thomas had fallen to me there, I would have been like, oh, like makes it tough a little bit. But
You're saying in the second?
Yeah, in the second.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, when he fell to me there, I was like, all right, sweet, I'm good at quarterback.
So, did
That's
you
how I like to
consider
build
anyone else with those first 3 picks, or you just smashed right away?
I'm trying to think. I smashed right away for those first 3 picks. I was disappointed though because I wanted my 4th pick. I wanted Hampton or Hall pretty bad.
Mhm.
But then Kyler fell, and after that there was just kind of a big tier gap of guys for me that went in the rest of that round. So I was like, well, I'll just take Kyler, pair him up with Harrison. Why not?
All right, Chad. So Drake London falls to you at 212. You're pretty psyched about that, right?
I actually wanted Herbert, so I wasn't very psyched about it. Yeah, I thought Herbert or May was going to make it to me, and they went right before me, so that wasn't fun. And then obviously took Drake London. You guys know how I feel about him. Just think he's an incredible player. So grabbed him up, and then came back at the end of the 3rd, and the very last pick of the 3rd round, picked up Amari Hampton, which I'm really, really excited about. So was pretty happy with the the first 3 rounds. Could have gone a little better, but yeah, not too many complaints.
Yeah, I was hoping Hampton would come back to me, but I ended up going quarterback anyway. Yeah, I had made the choice early on that I wasn't going quarterback in the second round. I don't know. I don't know if it worked out for me or not, but I guess we'll move on to
Chad
fourth
at round
round?
4. Yeah, Chad at round 4. He had the back-to-back.
Yeah, so in the 4th round, I grabbed Garrett Wilson right after that pick from Marion Hampton. I think I'm kind of with Austin. I think Garrett Wilson's kind of undervalued right now. Really talented player. So
I mean, 301. He was going early second round last year. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So get him at the 4-1 felt really nice. There were some other players that I were kind of looking at there. Tet being one of them. Trevor, Kyler, obviously. But I just thought, man, you know what? Garrett Wilson, believe in the talent. I don't have many shares of him across my other leagues, so I went ahead and just grabbed him up.
All right, and then Mike, you took
Was Kyler.
Kyler. Yeah.
What a dick. What a
Everybody
dick.
was really pissed at you for taking a third quarterback in the 4th round. Wow. And now you still haven't traded him. Walk us through this.
Why do I need to trade him right now? Because
Yeah,
everybody
you don't
You
do it
don't
right
need
now.
to.
exactly because everybody thinks I'm a dick, and they're gonna be like, "Oh well, I'm not." Like I could probably trade for a player that was picked after him, and I probably wouldn't even get it straight up.
What
just because
offers
of
have
that
you?
thought process?
What offers have you gotten for him?
I haven't gotten any.
None. Okay.
Zero.
Well, you don't trade him on Mike's side. You don't trade him now anyway. You wait until that week 1 person setting that lineup, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm starting."
I thought
Geno
maybe-
Smith at QB2.
I thought maybe during the trade or during the draft or right after the draft, somebody might have panicked and said something favorable.
No, I don't get that lucky.
I sent him a fair offer.
Oh,
For
you
Murray?
did get an offer.
Yeah, for the pick.
Oh,
What was
for the pick itself.
Yeah, it was a second for mine.
Yeah, for his pick.
Yeah.
Man, after Kyler went, those quarterbacks went fast.
Yes, they did.
They went really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really-
well,
I was glad to
because
be on
it
the
gets-
back end of that. Yeah,
It gets really scary after that.
like 7 quarterbacks went after that. In the next 2 months, so.
I don't know if it
I
necessarily
don't
gets
mind.
scared.
I don't mind the
Yeah.
quarterbacks after Kyler. For me, it was after.
No, I'm saying it gets scary if you don't grab one right there.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. If you go through that next round and don't grab
Yeah.
one, then
You know, if you don't like Tua, then you're screwed.
Or Darnold.
Or Darnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's
Which he's
QB1.
such an
Someone's
interesting
QB1.
case. Darnold's so interesting.
Absolutely
He
could
could
be a QB.
absolutely be that next Baker Mayfield. Like next offseason, we could be looking at him in the mid-third. But he could also be irrelevant.
In the 10th. And
Yeah,
Irrelevant?
it's
Yeah.
so interesting. Like it's a lot. It really is Baker. If we're going to be honest, he's moved to another system, another team, doesn't have the same weapons. Is he going to, prove that he can be what we saw in Minnesota minus those last 2 weeks, or is he going to be what he's been his other part of his career?
JSN is going to be his best friend.
Yeah, and Cup. I mean,
He has
it's
to
2
be.
great,
Yeah.
great
Okay.
weapons for him.
Yeah. And I mean, MVS can't actually catch the balls when they're thrown to him deep, but he
He'll
does
clear
have the
space.
speed to at least stretch it. Yeah.
No clear space for everyone else.
All right. So, Mike scooped everybody on Kyler. And then, but that puts you behind, Mike. Who else all right, let's say Kyler went the pick before you. Who are you going to take?
I would have taken Brees Hall or Hampton or Wilson or Hunter, frankly. Those are the 4 picks
Yeah,
before
so
me. I would
pretty
have
much
taken,
the whole time.
I would have taken one of those. That's why that was like kind of a big tier for me. So
Okay. You didn't consider Bucky Irving?
over Kyler Murray. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just for the quarterback in the super flex, like no. Like,
but if
Bucky's probably like my running back 4 or 5.
yeah. And I mean
really high.
that's fine. And he could be that again. but he could also fall off a cliff. Who knows? So I just feel like kind of know what Kyler is. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. He was QB10 last year in a season everybody thinks, everybody's like killing him for.
Well, he was very up and down. I had him in redraft, and it was he either won you the week or he lost you the week.
Yep.
I think people kind of forgot about this, but there was trade talks early in the offseason about Kyler getting traded. Like, I mean, rumors, obviously, but I mean, the chatter was out there. It's not like, I don't think if Kyler has another year like he had this past season, that he's locked to be on that team, which may be a good thing, maybe a really bad thing.
Could be really bad.
Yeah.
A team that's desperate and trading for a quarterback probably isn't the best team. Probably doesn't have the best roster anyway, so.
But I mean, also too, I do love Herbert, and I think he's really talented and stuff. But we did see kind of what the offense was last year, and it wasn't a whole ton of passing volume all the time. So it's nice to have those weeks where, hey, Kyler's got the better matchup. Why not?
It got higher as the weeks went on, and I think they started to trust Ladd and I guess to a degree Quentin Johnston more, because they did try to feed some volume to Quentin Johnston. He just couldn't handle it.
It's really just about the volume, right? Like, are they going to let him throw the ball? We've talked about this before.
That's all it is.
I mean, he's coming off the seasons where he's throwing the ball 700 times in a year, and this past season he's barely over 500. Like, he's not throwing the ball. So
what scares me even more is that they drafted a running back with their first round pick, and then they took a gigantic wide receiver and then signed Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they want big bodies to block.
Oh, they're going to run, and that's why. I mean,
that's why he took
going back to Hampton. That's why I grabbed Hampton. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. So yeah, I mean, I still believe in Justin Herbert just because I think he's a crazy talented player.
He really is. He's got one of the top maybe 2 or 3 arms in the entire league.
Yeah, but if he's throwing the ball, 20 to 25 times a game, and then he has those flash weeks of 36 attempts or something, then we're maybe in for a little bit of a disappointing season.
Yeah.
My hardest decision is who to start over Herbert and Murray each week. I'm okay dealing with that.
Cocky son of
I don't think that'll be your hardest situation looking at the rest of your roster.
Okay. All right, let's move on. So, 5th round, Rome. So which way are we going here?
That's the end of the 5th. That's
end of the 5th.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I wish I would have gone Judkins because I didn't have a whole lot of younger pieces, but I did like Rome there. Again, where you talked Devontae Smith. That's who I was looking at there. Don't have any Judkins shares, so if I had to do it again, I probably would have done that.
There was
short my running back room a little bit better.
There was a pretty heavy running back run right before you picked. I mean, you got killed. Yes, that's why I asked you if you thought about taking Bucky Irving the round before.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't have taken Chase Brown. I'm probably down on Cook more than anyone because I think he's
really James Cook.
Yeah.
You think he's what?
So TD dependent.
Really?
And he's in negotiations for a contract that's not going well right now. So I don't.
That shit doesn't bother me.
Oh, I don't like dealing with that crap going into the season. So.
That shit doesn't bother me. He's a talented back. If Buffalo doesn't want to pay him, somebody will.
Yeah, but if he sits, then that's how guys always get injured is when they don't actually do the full offseason program. And
that's a valid point.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like.
Yeah, that's true. And I agree with you that Chase Brown was below the cutoff for me. If he was the last one for me when I picked, I wouldn't have taken him either. Jacobs was the last one.
I was hoping Henderson was going to fall, but yeah, he went
And actually, no, I'm
5
sorry.
picks before me. So.
Judkins. I would have taken Judkins above Chase Brown.
Yeah, that's why I said if I had one regret, I probably should have taken.
Yeah, I feel like he's in that tier of could be a running back one.
I was shocked Judkins fell to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was excited. And then also I was looking at the running backs left, and I was like, oh shit, like one's not going to make it back to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you had to do
pick
that.
a guy. Yeah. So it was pretty easy choice for me there. I was thinking about quarterback, but you know, like double tapping on quarterback crossed my mind with Tua and Dart. But I was like, okay, I've got to go with a running back here if I want to even have a chance at being relevant. So, yeah, that's what I did.
All right, talk about the decision of Dart over Tua.
And
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't have. This is the only Dart share I have, so that's essentially what it came down to. I was like, you guys know I tried to trade in several different leagues for Dart. I can't get him anywhere. Nobody wants to trade him. I think he's kind of getting hyped up right now, I guess. So, it's really hard to buy him. I thought this range seemed fairly reasonable, so I just grabbed him. It's pretty much what it came down to.
I do wonder if you could have waited a turn there.
I don't think I could have got him, man.
I don't know if he would have gone. I don't think he would have gone ahead of Tua for anybody else. And honestly, same with Darnold. I guess Fields would have been the question mark there.
Yeah.
Would Vip had taken Fields or Dart?
Yeah, I'd probably take Dart over Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
me as well, but that's the exact price range for me.
I mean, we're talking about like Tua went like 5 picks later or something.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's just something I didn't really want to gamble with.
I get it.
At quarterback, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm having to pick Geno Smith.
I would have put money on you taking Tyler Warren there.
Well, he did his job and traded up for him.
Yeah, I traded up for Tyler Warren.
Yeah, which pissed me off.
Right in front of Jesse.
That was the other guy that I
all ready to get my first share of Tyler Warren. It was perfect spot.
When I saw the trade go in, I was like, "Oh, I know what this is. This is Chad sniping Jesse," and it was.
Yeah, I was trying hard to trade up because I was considering either Dart or Tyler Warren, and then trying to trade up for Dart, but I was like, man, I can't really risk it on the quarterback. The other reason I went Dart too is because I knew it would be really easy to get Russ later. And so I was like, let me just go with Dart. I feel like Russ's floor is not very low. I can get by with him, and then pray Dart's a good player. Warren, I have a lot of Warren, so I was like, let me just go get the quarterback and then see if I can make the trade, which I was able to do, and I really like the price that I ended up paying for him.
So Warren, I mean, all right, if we're going to talk about a player that could possibly have a value dip, it's Tyler Warren, the same as Rome Odunze, Austin. So if you think about all of the other weapons in that offense and him being a rookie and having a running back playing as his quarterback, and then the backup quarterback being Daniel Jones, it could really go sideways year one.
Sure. I mean, rookies, that happens all the time.
Rookie tight ends.
Yeah, especially tight ends.
Yeah, I mean that's almost expected as a rookie, minus a top 10 pick. Like, you don't expect a huge value boom. Mm-hmm. It's the second year players, when those players don't hit, their value typically tanks in Dynasty. That's why, to me, that's a lot. It's not the same situation at all.
Gotcha. All right, where are we?
We are where Mike all of a sudden decides he's playing redraft for the next 5 rounds. It's great value. Like, I'm not knocking it, but he went, his first 5 picks were so gorgeous, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's Mike.
So Mike takes a 8-year-old running back, and you think that he's like,
I mean,
that McCaffrey pick is nice, man. Like,
that's what I said too. Like, at 6'3". So here was my thinking, right? Because I kind of already FOMO'd about not taking Judkins over Rome. And when I got there, I was like, okay, McCaffrey's here. Who is going to make it back to me? And you know who would have made it back to me? Like, Mixon. Because, 5 other running backs. So I knew I was taking a running back, and I was like, okay, well, I don't think I can take McCaffrey over. Like, I wanted to take R.G. Harvey because I have no shares, but I'm like, I'm not going to take R.J. Harvey over McCaffrey. I was like, I've got elite quarterbacks. Like, elite running back, and maybe I'll be able to get some younger guys. And then the way things fell the rest of the draft didn't get that way, and old guys just got pushed down and pushed down and pushed down. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take the old guys that have finished top 3, 1 or 2. Like, you know, I mean, I went Tyreek Hill after that. Like, so
Yeah, that's the pick I didn't like, to be honest with you. It was
I
the
agree
Tyreek
totally.
Hill pick. But
RJ
McCaffrey
Harvey.
pick, I get it. I probably would have went RJ Harvey just for the versatility of for the rest of your roster.
But
But
having
Or
him as
Kenneth
my
Walker.
yeah, or
RB,
Kenneth Walker. Yeah.
having RJ
Over
Harvey as my
McCaffrey?
RB1 does not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
No.
Mike, it's not. I mean, McCaffrey is probably, if he stays healthy, he's definitely going to outscore all those guys, right? But
Yeah.
it's just about the versatility of your roster at that point. Like if just because of how the running backs were shaken out, you know, like you're not going to get another young running back to fall to you. So RJ Harvey's one of your last chances here, and then you can go back and get maybe a guy like you did with Aaron Jones later in the draft, where he can still give you a nice RB1 season. And he's also in the same boat where he's like an older player that's probably not going to last too long.
I'm also of the, like, hey, if, like, you know, one guy gets hurt or two and it falls off the rails. Like, I think I'm probably higher on Devontae Adams than anybody too. I know we're not like there yet, but like of him being a top 10 wide receiver this year, scoring wise. And I'm pretty big of when things have fall off the rails, selling them to contenders. And I've had a lot of good success for that. So I guess unless nobody wants to trade,
Yeah,
if
it's
one of these guys is elite, then that's where I disagree. Of you can move off of them.
Well,
you
all right.
can't.
But yeah,
They're the ones that get hurt.
Yeah, but there is a chance, right? Like, hey, McCaffrey could get hurt and be done for the season, could be done for the career. Tyreek Hill could be done for the career. Like, I feel like that's so worst case scenario. Like, that's,
Yeah, but
I
to
just
me,
don't draft like
in
that.
a startup, the difference. So let's use Kenneth Walker because he's actually younger than RJ Harvey. So let's use Kenneth Walker and McCaffrey. If Kenneth Walker tears his ACL in August, knock on wood, his value doesn't completely tank. Come
It's
next
a second
season,
injury. I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, never mind. Then we could move on.
All right,
mind.
if I may, Mike. All right, we all know how Mike plays Dynasty, and it is to win this year. Mike,
You
don't
play
see Mike
to win the game.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't see Mike doing a startup to do productive struggle. It's just kind of not how he does it. He wants to win now.
I actually did last year in the COVID league, and it's
Okay. All right. Well,
But
it's typically not how Mike does it, and to have RJ Harvey as your RB1 on a team that you want to win, or Kenneth Walker, who is frequently out and has been boomer bust, kind of, it does not really help you win a championship this year.
I disagree.
Right?
I know me too.
I disagree. If there's any rookie position that I want as far as on a championship roster, it's running back. And they drafted RJ Harvey with the intention of using him.
Yeah, I hear you, but it's Christian McCaffrey, and he's RB1.
Yeah. No, that's definitely that's what I said. I'm not arguing with the pick, right? Like I wouldn't have done it personally, but I get it, right? It's just the fact that you look back since 2020, and the majority of the seasons he's been hurt. It's not like we're like this is worst case scenario, small percentage. Like, 3 out of the 5 seasons he's been hurt.
Who, McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude had Achilles tendonitis. Like it's gonna come back.
So that's what I'm saying. He scares me a little bit. But if he plays and he plays all season, I mean that's going to look like a hell of a pick, a steal, right? You're just gambling a little bit on your roster there at that point. I'd rather take the gamble on, a young back that was drafted with great capital, in a offense that looked really, really, really good and promising, in a young offense that looked really promising last year. So that's just how I see it.
I see Saquon Barkley at this same age. Maybe Barkley's 1 year younger, but essentially the same age, going 3 rounds earlier. I understand the seasons they're coming off, but they're similar talented backs. There's only a couple of backs in the league that you can say have the ability to finish 1, right? And they're both that guy. So I could see what I'm saying is I could see the two of them going in a similar range in a startup next year.
Well, the thing is with Saquon, he's played the last 3 seasons straight. Like he's been healthy.
But that
That's the
also
difference.
was his thing, though. His
That's
he
why-
was the injury guy until he wasn't.
Yeah, but that was when he was younger, right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's just different. Like you have an older player who is not been able to stay healthy and is coming off an injury riddled season. Like it's a completely different circumstance. Yeah, you can make a throwaway statement that Saquon's coming off of a great year, McCaffrey's not, but that is a big deal, right? Like people
I
draft
understand.
players coming off of great seasons.
I understand that, but I'm comparing the upsides.
I mean,
The upsides and the ages are similar.
Didn't McCaffrey have 2 years in a row though before this last year where he was healthy?
Yeah, I
Am
know.
am I not looking at this right?
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
he had
When he went to
22,
San
Sounds
Francisco,
suspect.
22 and
20
23. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was healthy those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
So if he's healthy
I think
this
it was
year,
it was like 2 seasons. He came back for 2 seasons, and now he's injured again and missed almost the entire season. So
Right, so
it's
He's 2 out of
It's-
3.
yeah, like I
Barkley
said,
was 3
it's-
for 3. Yeah.
and the injuries are different, right? Like Saquon's injuries were freak injuries. Like he stepped on somebody's leg and like rolled his ankle and got an ankle sprain. Like it's not like these are, they're different injuries. When you're dealing with tendonitis like Austin was mentioning, on an aging player, it's just different. That's just where my head's at. Like I said, it could definitely work out. You could look back on this and say, hey, this won me the league, getting McCaffrey
absolutely.
at 6'3".
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it is a kind of a flashpoint here where it could go either way.
I think. I agree that the Tyreek Hill pick is more risky.
Yeah, I don't like it at all personally. I would have taken the next 3 receivers before him, and probably a couple more.
I
did
think
not-
I
I did
think
not
the
want
I think the McCaffrey pick is more risky just because of who was left on the board. Tyreek, I don't like the pick at all. I like it a lot worse than the McCaffrey pick, but I mean the upside
Sorry,
of the players coming up.
I don't care. What he broke his hand last season, didn't have the surgery done, and now he's had it done. So, I
Fair.
think getting Tyreek at the end of the 7th round, that was consistently a top 5 guy is,
And it's
Pretty
obviously,
and I'm higher on Waddle probably than anyone. So I don't know.
and it's
Well,
obviously,
with Austin,
it's an entirely different offense. After Tua got hurt last year.
You got Metcalf in Pittsburgh. Like, sorry, I don't want that offense at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I agree
Addison,
because
he's
the
a
players
2,
coming
and
after.
Golden's a rookie. Like, once I got McCaffrey, I was like, okay, well, I guess this is where it's going to go, into the competing, taking the old guys kind of a thing.
So
Yeah.
Chad, you went Addison and Golden.
Yeah.
You weren't pissed that you didn't get sniped with Metcalf there.
I actually thought about Metcalf, but it wasn't like I was mad.
This was before
I got
Pickens
sniped or
traded
something.
too,
It was
wasn't
just
Mm-mm.
like he made my decision for me essentially.
Mhm.
Wait, Pickens wasn't traded before they were picked?
Pickens
Or he
was
was?
traded. He was traded before the
He
pick.
was.
Oh.
It was so I took Zay Flowers in that round. It was really hard between Flowers, DJ Moore, and Addison.
I wanted Flowers, and I would have taken Flowers.
After I took Flowers, I was pissed that I didn't take DJ Moore, and then after Addison got picked, I was pissed I didn't take Addison. So those 3 guys are very, very similar to me.
Yeah, I was happy with Addison there. I really like Addison, and then Matthew Golden. I think I told you guys before the draft started, like I'm just gonna have fun with this one. So
Okay.
yeah, what the hell, right? So just took Matthew Golden. I looked at the next guys up. I considered Jameson Williams, Pickens, Ricky Purcell, all those guys. But
I was surprised you didn't go tight end. Actually, I thought you might take Kincaid or I didn't think it looked like you
traded
were
up for Warren.
I was happy
Oh.
with Warren. Yeah, I
that's
was
what it
happy
was.
with Warren. And then
that's what it was.
And then the tight ends coming up later, like I like some of these rookie tight ends like Elijah Arroyo, Rondé Gadsden,
Right on.
or Gadsden. I like those guys. So I'm happy with taking my shot on Warren and then just bulking up with these rookie tight ends. And I don't think this roster's going to be, competing for anything this year, but just a young, fun roster. So that's just the way I decided to go.
Yeah, Mike did not decide to go that way. Mike goes at Mandrews next.
Yep.
What's your thought with him over Kincaid, even Njoku?
I just don't like the volume I saw for Kincaid at all.
Mhm.
Like, period. I honestly think he might be a bust.
I would take Andrews over Njoku every day.
Njoku, I don't know who the quarterback is. And I've got a stack with Lamar and Andrews, which, I mean, I guess call recency bias. Still, despite his troubles, worked out great last year in a lot of places. So, yeah. Plus, he's not coming off a car wreck this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm not mad at that. I liked the
I thought it was a good pick.
Yeah. I like the tight end pick there.
I will say it's a minor miracle he's still on this team after dropping that pass in the playoffs.
Yeah.
People around here wanted to murder him.
Well, the fans don't control the roster, and they're smart enough
Yeah,
not to get rid of
they're going to
Mark
do the same thing
Andrews.
to Kincaid? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did talk about trading him throughout the entire offseason.
Yeah.
Front offices are smart. They know not to get rid of good players at that time.
Sometimes. Some
That's
front
a good point.
offices are smart.
That's a good point. The Ravens are definitely smart.
Yeah, they are. God, I hope that Joneses never just live forever. I just hope they live forever.
But Mike, we got to talk about your next pick. You can't get away from Kyle Pitts.
This is my only
So,
share.
Apparently, you're back on board.
At the 9-10? Yeah. I was shocked when Njoku went before him.
I would
And
take
that-
Njoku all day before him.
Look who's after him. Downs, Tracy, Scadaboo, Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ferguson in Dallas? Like,
Why is
it
that
was just
such
who
a
came
bad
after
thing?
him.
I don't get why Ferguson.
Ferguson's he just seems like a jack to me. Like, I don't think he's an elite tight end, like with any real.
He was
special
really good
skills.
with Dak. He was really good with Dak last year.
And we'll see how he is with Dak and Pickens and there too now. So I just see it going to what the frick's I can't think of the tight end on Schultz. I just think Ferguson's going to be Schultz next year.
It's fair.
Where everyone's
Yeah,
just
I think
like,
that's very fair. That's very fair.
That's just my thought. And Pitts is obviously there's no hype around him anymore, but I mean he's still a pretty talented dude. Still had 1,000 yards his rookie season, so. It was just who was after it there. Like there was nobody else, and I was like, okay, well, I won't have to worry about tight ends for a while, I guess.
I guess if it all comes together for him, you're either
as a backup tight end, I was okay with it.
Yeah, it's either, but he's a starter for you. Yeah, I mean, you have to
per draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, I took Kincaid, and I could be in the same freaking boat. You know, that Kincaid could be Pitts too. You know, and fall off a cliff as well. So I'm right there with you, Mike. Taking a chance on a young player. It's just Pitts has had a lot of chances and looked fairly clueless out there. So I personally am out, counting him as like a 0 on any rosters I have.
But we don't have a big sample of him with Penix is the thing too. So
That's true.
There is that possible upside there.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah, Penix was small sample side, hyper targeting Drake London.
Yeah. So
all right, and then Chad sniped the living shit out of me with Tracy and Scadaboo.
You ain't lying,
bro. Like, So, could I make any other pick? Like, be honest here. Was there any other pick I could make? Because look at after Tracy and Scadaboo, there's nothing left, and then
you already had running backs.
Yeah,
but I need a third, and together they're a third.
Yeah,
so it's a start too. And so I just looked at that and I was like, man, if I come back and I don't pick a running back this round, then there's not going to be anything there. And I was right because the only guy left was ETN, Warren, and Trey Benson. right?
Yeah.
So I was ecstatic when both of them made it there, because together they make one pick. Feels like kind of a wasted pick, just because you're hoping you get, whichever guy ends up being the guy there, if one ends up being the guy, right? But I was kind of forced into it at that point, and I didn't want to make a decision, to be honest with you, so I just grabbed both. I knew I was going to piss people off.
It is a bumpy ride trying to figure out which one it is, and then you're taking two guys for one starting spot.
Yeah, it's
Puts you behind. But you did trade to get Warren, right? So you're ahead. So actually, you can afford to do that at that point and not be scuffling for your last flex spot. Because I feel like if you don't take starters, in this range, you're in trouble when it comes time to take your last flex spot. You're getting guys that you can't start.
Yeah, and I went back and grabbed a guy that I still have some faith in with the money he's making in Stephon Diggs in New England in that situation. Yeah. So that's kind of the pick that I made to make up for that kind of missed player, where I can plug him into my starting roster and feel comfortable with him in a flex spot.
Yeah. I guess, you're probably not looking to win a lot of games early on with this roster.
No. It's I think there's 14 rookies on the roster, so
right on. Yeah, okay. It fits your strategy. And then Mike takes
Adams.
Devontae Adams. So you say you think he has top 10 potential this year?
Yeah. With Stafford and without Cooper Kupp there. Yeah.
But with Pukas.
With Pukas, yes.
And the fact that they run the ball a lot.
When's the last time we had Adams with a good quarterback?
Rodgers in Green Bay, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'll buy into that hype there. And
I guess
Carr, 10th round pick.
I can't.
Granted, Jerry Jeudy was staring me in the face, but I think I've made it my personal mission to just never have Jerry Jeudy on any of my teams, no matter what.
I feel like he was the booby prize for me. Like he was the guy that fell to me, and I didn't want him.
Good, enjoy.
What came after him was like Keon Coleman.
I was debating
Harris,
honestly,
Calvin Ridley,
James Conner there.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley is Jerry Jeudy before Jerry Jeudy was Jerry Jeudy.
Calvin Ridley did have 1,000 yards last year.
It was,
and nobody cares at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope the quarterback improves significantly. So
yeah, I like Calvin. There's several of guys in this range, like I mentioned, Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, those kind of players. Even guys like Michael Pittman. Those guys are really decently priced, where you can get some nice production out of them. All three of them were pretty productive before they ran into their issues, their respective issues. Pittman being more not him, more quarterback play based, and then Stephon Diggs obviously was looking pretty good before the injury, and Calvin Ridley I think put up a really good season with really bad quarterback play. So
Pittman also played half the year with like a broken back or some shit. He was supposed to go on IR, and he's like, "Nah, I got this."
Yeah,
and he didn't really have this. He was out there, but not looking good.
Yeah, I like Pittman's value this year. Where did he go?
He went
11th
round, 12th. Yeah,
12-5. Okay.
Yeah,
I tried to get him. That's such a good.
If I didn't need a running back, I would have taken him.
That's such a good price for him. 12-5.
I guess we did neglect to mention Pollard. He could be better this year. Now that that offense is in year 2 and looking a little better, they're built up the offensive line. Obviously, new quarterback could be better for him. What do you think?
I just think Spears is better, but he just wasn't healthy last year. So that's what I'm kind of scared.
That's been Spears' entire career.
Yeah.
What, like 3-year career?
Well, in college too. He was not a healthy guy.
Pollard did have 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, Pollard had a good season.
He had good spurts. 1,000 yards really is not a great year out of a running back, though.
It's a decent flex, right?
Yeah,
I mean, for a flex, that's great.
Yeah, that's true.
An RB2.
We're getting long. Instead of going round by round, I'll just ask you guys: are there any picks that you really liked or wished you had made, or are there other players that you thought would fall to you and didn't?
Oh yeah, I got one that still hurts me looking at this right now.
Okay.
Evan Ingram. I thought I was getting Evan Ingram. I wanted him so bad.
What round was that?
11,
That was where I took
11.
Russ because I thought I could wait on Russ another round. I was willing to risk it. Where was it? You said 11? Yeah, and he went right before me. So I was gonna. Oh no, it wasn't even waiting. I was just gonna go Ingram and Russ. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, I was very upset.
Likely going before Evan Ingram, I thought was pretty wild.
Austin, are you scrolling down to try to answer?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Jamie's
find
question.
Roshan Johnson. I don't know where he's at. I don't know
I
where
hate
he's
that
at.
you're doing that. I
I'm
think he's
looking-
trolling
there he
us
is.
with that question.
16, round 16.
Roshan.
I couldn't find him.
How
yeah,
about you,
I really
Mike?
like the ETN pick,
Oh, sorry.
Mike. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I was
think-
pretty ecstatic about that.
I think that's extremely good value.
Yeah, Mike, I was pissed about your Aaron Jones pick. I was hoping he'd fall back down to me, and then I had to take freaking Trey Benson, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was pretty set after I took Adams. I was like, I really hope one of Jones or Connor falls to me, and then Jones fell, and then ETN was still there, and I was like, I really wanted to get like ETN and Tootin. I was hoping to get Tootin in the 13th round. But
Boys putting the ball on the ground already.
I know.
Come on.
I just wanted the whole backfield unlock because I don't have
My
great
call of the
RB
offseason.
rooms.
Bootin' tootin'.
I was happy with the Joe Milton pick. I know it's really late in the draft here, and may not be exciting for everybody, but I think Dallas is starved for something fun, and Dak is not able to stay on the field at any point in his career. So I'm excited. If Joe Milton ever hits the field, I think people are going to be excited too. So
He's the new Trey Lance.
I was pretty pissed when Chad took Trey Lance. He was my backup for Herbert. So
Okay.
I was just taking backups that I like. I was like, give me Trey Lance, give me Joe Milton, give me Shador Sanders. We'll see what happens.
Deshaun Watson in the 24th round. So
Any interesting picks for Mike? Let me look. No.
no, my first rookie was my last pick, and that was Isaiah Bond. So that shows you how my draft went and how I'm hoping the season goes. But I got a lot of second-year players though, and things like that. So
I forgot. Forgot. Marshawn Lloyd was on my do not draft list last year. That's a good call. I'm pretty much like undefeated on that list. By the way, it's Marshawn Lloyd, Quentin Johnston, Kendre Miller. There was a guy the year before too that I hit on.
So who is it this year, Jesse?
No,
who is it this year?
Jalen Rager.
Yeah,
Isaiah.
Draft as many as you can.
It was Isaiah.
Pacheco?
Isaiah Spiller and
Oh.
Zach. I can't even remember his last name.
Evans.
Zach Evans. Yes, the year before. This
So you're
year,
just naming undrafted players that are on your do not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undrafted.
About
They're
all
gonna get
the
cut.
fifth round guys I avoided.
Good job.
Quentin Johnson and Kendre Miller were really hyped. No, this year it was
Isaiah Bond. Go ahead and get that one out. Undrafted. Drew
No,
McCoy,
this
too.
year
Is he
it
on
was
the list?
Luther
He's
Burden.
dropping gems over here.
Oh,
This
Bert.
year's Luther Burden.
That's it?
Okay.
Yeah, he's my Quentin Johnston.
Okay.
Well, I doubt I'll produce you one anyways, but
All right, what else we got, guys? Anything? Should we move on to TV, movies? Anything good?
can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Sorry,
absolutely.
a trade question. Because what do you have to add to Baker Mayfield for Mahomes, or what do you have to sell Mahomes? Well,
For
Is
me to
two-
tear
is-
down the Baker Mayfield from Mahomes, I want something really good.
Is 2
Drake
firsts
London
too
enough?
much?
I was going to say JSN. That's funny you said that.
Is a 26 first and a 27 first?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, yeah,
Okay.
2 firsts is
That's
probably.
what I offer. Just so you know, I just
Okay.
wanted to know. It was like an instant snap rejection
It's a fair offer.
from a questionable player.
Yeah. I mean, but if I'm not looking to trade Mahomes, I understand how it's a snap projection. It's not like you're overwhelming me, but it's a fair offer for sure.
Yeah, I was trying to sell Mahomes for that, and I couldn't.
Oh, you're trying to sell him for that?
Yeah.
I understand. I'm not paying that either.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I
Nope.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a lot.
I mean, I think the productions could be really similar with those two. Age is also really similar.
I would buy Mahomes though. Well, I
He's
definitely
still
would
not
pay,
cheap. He
I would
might be
definitely pay
cheaper.
Baker in a first.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd pay Baker in a first. But good luck.
What do you have to add to Penix and Fields from Mahomes?
Something good. Like a good play. I need one good player at least in the trade.
Penix and Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do that personally.
And Fields is not even a first.
Yeah, he's at that
Is he?
111 to 22 range.
Yeah.
Wherever you're going
I
to
was
take
thinking-
Dart, you can take Fields, in my opinion.
I was thinking early second.
I was willing to add a second to that, like a 26-second Fields and Penix for Mahomes.
Yeah, there's no chance. I would sell Mahomes for that.
Okay.
I think Jamie's been drinking in chat, by the way.
That's what we like to hear.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. This used to be a happy hour show. You guys remember that?
I do. Then I got on
They
here and
did,
killed all the
yeah.
fun.
Chad would always be drunk by the end of the episode.
I was
Gee.
drunk host.
I was about to say, hold on.
I was drunk hosting. I mean, it was on a Friday night though. Now we do it on Thursdays. I can't drink.
That's true.
What am I, Rod Stewart?
So
You guys don't even know who that is.
So season finale for The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Oh,
this coming
yeah.
week. That's kind of
Oh.
disappointing. But
I needed
Yeah.
that last episode. By the way, I needed that calm episode after the crazy episode.
I didn't. I wanted crazy, so I was kind of disappointed. But I knew it was coming, so I was okay with it.
Yeah. This one
Wow.
should pick up pretty quick.
Yeah, I would assume so. They got a
Um,
lot of the bullshit out of the way.
Since I wasn't in last week, if you are Star Warsian, Star Wars nerd, you've got to watch Andor season 2. It is so good. Like it's just a different side of Star Wars with like spycraft and obviously the guerrilla warfare of the rebels. Like really seeing how it works. And it leads up so good to Rogue One. It is
I was
amazing.
thinking about going and because I haven't watched season 1, so I was
Yeah,
thinking about doing that this weekend. I have a
there's
whole
some-
weekend off without the wife, so
Yeah, there's tons of great Easter eggs to season 1 to future movies. It's
Yeah.
really
Me and the lady are rewatching season 1 because it's been so long before we start
Nice.
season 2.
I have to be honest with you. I know this is going to sound like I'm an old man, but the Easter egg shit annoys me. That's
Yeah,
all
it's 'cause you're
that's all the sequel movies were. Giant Easter eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Good.
well, they have stuff after it, so you kind of have to have Easter eggs.
Don't get me started.
I've been really sick, so I've been laying in bed most days, and I fell asleep. I woke up. Warrior was on, and absolutely like the worst scene that you want to wake up to is that Nick Nolte hotel room scene. So I went back and just rewind the whole thing and watched the whole movie again. Oh, such a good movie! If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go watch it.
I don't think I have.
I don't know what it
haven't
is.
seen
No,
It's the best sports movie ever made.
Warrior?
It's amazing. Warrior. Yeah, it's got Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, Nick Nolte,
How old is
Jennifer Morrison.
Oh, it's a boxing movie.
What
No, it's
platform is it on?
it's an MMA movie.
MMA. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's like the MMA is just part of it. Like it's incredible. The acting, amazing, but it's like a story about like kind of their relationships and all that kind
What
of stuff.
streaming platform is it on?
It's
Chad?
great. I just saw it on TV, but I'm not sure where it's streamed.
Questions that I don't need to ask people, right, Austin?
That's right.
What streaming platform, please?
Gosh. I didn't know you have regular TV.
Mike, talk to me offline. I got you.
Also a hot take for me, and I told you guys already, but Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad.
No, I'm with you.
So much more.
It ends better, that's for sure. The ending of Better Call Saul, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree, but I totally respect it.
Yeah,
I didn't
completely respect the opinion because I love them both, but I do think Breaking Bad's a better show overall.
I didn't like the end of Breaking Bad that much.
I think Breaking Bad's way better.
Yeah, I just thought it was the only way it could end, if we're going to be honest.
I mean, both of them kind of ended.
Yes,
I
because
think the right way.
They painted themselves into.
Yeah,
a corner,
I agree.
So at least they did get themselves out.
Spoiler alert. So don't listen anymore. If you haven't seen
please!
the show
Well,
yet.
it's been out 10 years. So
Hey, well, I hadn't watched it yet, and I had to. Gosh, it took me forever to finish this show, man. I got 4 kids. You can only watch so much TV. Prime for free.
You can only watch so much of your TV.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of their TV.
Well, they got a lot of Frozen. Yeah, a lot of Frozen, a lot of Bluey, and a lot of my daughter's into Minnie Mouse now, so that's really.
Oh man, my youngest kid, he's still 1, right? No, he just turned 2. He just turned 2 this month.
Father.
Anyways,
he's been sick.
Yeah.
I
feel like this whole month has been like lost on me. But anyways, he just turned 2, and he's been like, there's this scary ass cartoon Jurassic Park show on Netflix, and it is like
Campus Creatures or Creature World.
I think so.
Like
yeah, and they have like these scary ass scenes in it all the time, and he just sits there and watches it and laughs. And then every time a dinosaur pops up to scare like the kids, it's supposed to be like a 13-year-old, plus show. And a dinosaur pops out and tries to scare the kids. And he goes, ha, raw.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm like, man, this would have gave me nightmares when I was like 15, 16. Like, what the hell? Not really, but it's pretty intense for kids, but he loves it.
Oh, dog says, "Let's go."
Yep, it's time.
All right, let's rip some packs. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. It's been the front office.
Peace.